Hey, this year at Sunny Hills, each Sunday we're highlighting a different number that we find in the Bible. And of course, there's lots and lots of numbers, and many of those are found in the Bible. Some are super special, like they have unique spiritual meanings or symbolism to them. Others, like today's number, is just kind of a random number, and there's some things in the Bible that include the number 500. There's not very many, even though this number is kind of significant in our life today. 500, that seems like a big kind of round number. There's not that many mentions of the number 500 in the Bible, but there are a couple that I'd love to share with you this morning. The first one is from Luke chapter 7, verses 41 through 42. And this is a little story that Jesus told to illustrate the value and importance of forgiveness and even our debt to God and how much he loves us. So it says, a certain moneylender had two debtors. One owed 500 denarii, which was a day's wage, and the other 50. So 550. One guy owed 10 times more than the other guy. When they could not pay, he canceled the debt of both of them. Now, which of them will love him the more? Of course, both of them would be like super appreciative. If you've ever had a debt canceled or someone just say, hey, don't worry about paying me back, it's fine. You know how cool that is. But to have a debt 10 times larger and to receive the same grace, the same forgiveness, the same canceling of that debt, obviously the one who owed more would feel much more grateful to the Lord. I mean, if you owed me $10, I forgave you. It's just $10, but $100, now you're talking about real money. 500 denarii, a year and a half of wages, just forgiven, forgotten. Isn't that great? The next instance is over in the book of 1 Corinthians, and it's this report that after Jesus was resurrected from the dead, of course, he appeared to the disciples, but just not a few of them, not just the women who came to the tomb, not just a few, the dozen or so disciples and some of their close followers, but it says, then Jesus appeared to more than 500 brothers at one time. And Paul goes on to say that, you know what? Some of those guys are still alive, and you can check it out for yourself. So Paul reported that there were 500 at least eyewitnesses to Jesus being alive after he was crucified. Evidence of the resurrection of Jesus is awesome. And what I love about it is that Paul invites the reader of that day. Of course, we can't now because none of the original people are still alive, of course. But in that day, as this letter was first circulating through the churches, Paul said, hey, go ask Billy Bob down at the produce market. He saw Jesus walk around, and see for yourself. And so I love that we're invited to check out the story. We're invited to be curious about Jesus. And at least in that day, there were 500 witnesses you could go to. So 500 is our Bible number for today. And thank you for checking.